This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this might just look like a tablet, but it happens to be a 15-inch convertible, also notebook, also dedicated graphics. What is it? It's the Sony VAIO Flip 15. It's available now, and we're going to look at the model that has NVIDIA GT 735M dedicated graphics, 8 gigs of RAM, terabyte hard drive, and test out some games. First, we're going to test out Max Payne, not because, and this is Max Payne 3, not because it's the newest of games, but it's a real pig of a game. It's pretty demanding stuff. We actually used it to demo the Sony VAIO S, which had NVIDIA GT 640 LE graphics at the time, but a full mobile CPU instead of an Ultrabook CPU. And again, in here we have the Core i7 4500U, that's an Ultrabook CPU, and NVIDIA GT 735M dedicated graphics, 2 gigs of video RAM. So let's see how Max Payne goes. First, we're going to look at the settings that we're using to get a good frame rate on this demanding game. 1600 by 900, you can see right here, 60 Hertz, DirectX 11 mode. We're running full screen mode. VSync is off, aspect ratio auto, texture quality normal, again for shader quality. We've got shadows turned off, reflections turned off, water quality, yes, we do have that on at normal. No anti-aliasing, don't really need it for a screen this small here. Ambient occlusion, SSAO, no tessellation. So we're not exactly maxing out the settings, but it's not too bad. And now I'll give it a try. And we have fraps running in the corners, so.
It's going to be all right, Mr. Bronco.
So frame rate's mid-30s, sometimes dropping down. We got a lot of shooting going on after all. It's certainly playable enough.
Mr. Bronco.
And now that we're done shooting, we even touch on the 40s for frame rate. So certainly not bad at all. Again, it's a real demanding game. It's a pig of a game, so works well enough. And now we're going to test out Skyrim, and you can see what our settings are here. We're using the NVIDIA GT 735M. Widescreen, full HD resolution, anti-aliasing off, anisotropic filtering off. Basically, we're all running it at low settings. For our advanced settings, right here we have medium for texture quality, low radial blur, medium shadow detail, medium decal quality. So not that really low. So let's see how that plays. So here we are, fight coming up. Good colors, pretty decent level of detail there. Really nice screen for this. And a full HD, we're staying in the mid-30s right now, going even higher at times. So that's certainly an improvement over integrated graphics kind of gaming. Considering we're fighting, the frame rates really are quite excellent here. And again, we're doing this at full HD resolution. And now we're going to test out Civ 5, and we're going to do it in DirectX 11 mode with touch support. Very cool that this game supports touch. We'll take a look at our graphics options. Full HD, again, no anti-aliasing, mixture of low and medium settings. Not a very graphically demanding game, really. This uses the CPU more than anything else, so should be just fine. And we're going to resume a game that's pretty far along, as you can see right here. Speakers aren't that loud, but the sound quality is pleasing enough. This game has some really beautiful music. And everything's pretty well developed. I really don't have much for these guys to do. Touchscreen's responsive enough, it's not having trouble keeping up with my actions. Pinch zooming works fine. You can see we've got quite a developed civilization here. Looks smooth, even if we zoom in, looks nice. So that's Civ 5 running on the Sony VAIO Flip 15 with a Core i7 and NVIDIA GT 735M graphics, Full HD 15.5-inch display, touchscreen. And lastly, we're going to check out BioShock Infinite, a very demanding game. And we'll check out our settings of this game. We're going with full screen mode instead of stretching the screen out because windowed mode tends to really drag down the frames per second. 1600 by 900, again, just like Max Payne. Full HD is not really good for frame rates. And we're going with very low graphics quality here. Pretty much everything's stock with that. From the game, we haven't customized the very low settings. And once again, when you're playing this game, you'll hear the fan come on too. It's going to work hard like any Ultrabook. Nothing offensive, and very quiet machine when you're not playing games. And we've just jumped into a real mess here, which should be challenging for our frame rates. And the frame rates are holding up really well. And look at those frame rates now. We're in a peaceful setting here. Hit 60 for a moment. Gee, not bad. Well, let's check out how it is indoors. Really very good. You could push 1920 by 1080 resolution if you wanted, but I like this game when the frame rates are in the 40s or better, so that's why I've gone with 1600 by 900. So that's really pretty darn good from BioShock Infinite on the Sony VAIO Flip 15. And now for you, those of you who are wondering what full HD would be like, 1920 by 1080, that's what we've got now. Granted, we're in a nice little peaceful setting right here, so we're not fighting a lot of folks. Mid-30s, going up to 40. And for those of you who are wondering what full HD would be like, we've switched to 1920 by 1080. Frame rate's a little bit low there. 1600 by 900 is the way to go in a busy scene like this. And once we go indoors and we're not fighting people, the frame rate really picks up. So that's BioShock Infinite at 1600 by 900 and now at 1920 by 1080 on the Sony VAIO Flip 15.